Hi there and welcome to this smartphone shooter video. I'm trying to solve a specific problem today. In the past I've been shooting on the older iPhones, the iPhone 6 particularly, and I used to carry around this microphone with me, which is the Rode VideoMicro. As you probably know, it's got a headphone jack, sits in the side there. It would then mount onto the phone, and this plus something like this, I use the shoulder pod grip. I'd have a pretty easy and portable way of getting good audio and video while out and about. Now I've moved on to the iPhone 7 Plus, and of course, as we all know, that now doesn't have the headphone jack, so very hard to mount this without it wobbling around, or it's just a pain. So I've decided to move on to the VideoMicro, which is this one here. Basically the same microphone, but it comes with a different mount, and you stick a cable in the back. This is probably a microphone that you are familiar with. The problem, of course, is that in order to film with the iPhone 7 Plus, which is what I'm filming this on at the moment, hence I'm holding these, you need some sort of rig. Now, there are plenty of them out there. Beast Grip do one, Shoulder Pod who make this, do a couple of different ones, as does a company called Helium Core, or they create the Helium Core. All of those are really good iPhone mounts, but all of them cost a significant amount of money, kind of in the £100 and up bracket. Now, for me, I just want something which is portable, I can throw in my bag, and when the occasion presents itself, get out of my bag and shoot video and removing the shake that you get when you're shooting handheld, but also have the power of decent quality audio, so that if I'm out doing my other job as a journalist, I'm interviewing people, I've got a solution ready to go without having to attach lapel mics like this one I'm wearing here. So I'm going to put these bits together and see what we come up with, but just a quick overview of what we've got here. It's basically some bits of metal and plastic. Is my list here of kind of prices. Nothing here cost over 10 quid, 12 quid for this long one. So we've got, basically this is a cold shoe extension, it's about £12. This was about £10, although it's only a little bit shorter, and was plastic rather than metal, so I was a bit surprised about that. This one is metal, so I put those together. This is a cold shoe 3 mounting plate thing, like a trident of cold shoes. And then I've also got these some screws in here, some cold shoe mounts with 1/4-inch screws on them, and I've also bought a couple of these handles with a 1/4-inch screw on the top. So all of those are pretty cheap. Obviously the VideoMicro was a little bit more. That comes in at about £35, so still an inexpensive microphone, but the most expensive part of this kit. And then I'm going to use this shoulder pod as my mount, because I already had it in my kit. And these are about £25 if I remember, but you can get cheaper mounts as well. So I like this mount, and I'm going to use it in this kit. So I'll put these bits together and see what we come up with. Okay, so here's the first thing that I've made. Not particularly challenging. I've just screwed the handle onto the bottom of the shoulder pod and made a little rig here. But actually, it's a really solid way of holding the phone. You can get some really nice moves with this. Hold it steady if you need to. And I could do an interview here, one-handed, plug a microphone in, and go handheld like that without any real problems at all. First thing to mention, of course, this isn't the iPhone 7 Plus. That's what's doing the filming at the moment. This is a 6S Plus, but it gives you the same size at least, so it gives you an indication. This one we can't film on because it was dropped into a chemical toilet and doesn't work. But anyway, in terms of cost-wise, the shoulder pod's about £24 and the grip here is about £8. So not that expensive, and of course you can get cheaper mounts for the top. So that's that. Incarnation 1. Let's see what else we can make. Okay, so this is the next thing that I've made out of all of those bits. So you can see it's the same handle we used in the first one. Now we've added on the cold shoe bar across here, and then there's this little connector which goes onto the shoulder pod, the phone, and then of course the VideoMicro on the end there. And look, it's a pretty solid rig, really comfortable in the hand. Be really happy to do some run and gun interviews with this one. This microphone will pick those up really nicely, but if you wanted to add in an extra mic, you could do a handheld mic out of the front without any problems at all. Now, just to one point really on the construction of this, the VideoMicro on the bottom, you can just about see that, has that's its cold shoe. It's actually a rectangular shape, and so when I had to put it on here, I had to file down the edges of that to make it square so that it would fit on onto that one. I just used my penknife from my youth to do it, but it didn't take too much effort. But just so you know, if you buy these bits and you try and put them together and they don't work, that's the reason why. So look, pretty good rig, this one. Price-wise, this costs £47. So that's the handle, the bar, this connector, and the shoulder pod. Obviously not the phone or the microphone. The equivalent of the shoulder pod variant, the Rocket, that costs £80. So you get the same functionality, less finesse, less kind of nice looking, but it's you know, £80 versus £47. So yeah, not a bad trade-off, and a good solid platform from which to do your mobile phone shooting. Okay, and here's the final thing that I built. I say thing, I'm not sure what you'd call it. The equivalent, I suppose, of the shoulder pod X1. So we've got two handles. The central piece here, this is a cold shoe mount, this is the metal mount. And then I've also included this cold shoe adapter, which goes into the shoulder pod. And there's this three-way cold shoe mount. There's obviously a light on the top here, which I didn't introduce at the beginning of this film, because I forgot, but it's about 20 or 30 pounds on Amazon. But all up, for the bits that you would buy separately in a shop, so that would include the phone obviously, or the microphone, or the light, just the rig itself, all these elements I've put together cost £68, which I don't think is too bad. The equivalent, if you were going to buy a Beast grip, for example, that would be £133 without any of the lenses that come with that. The helium core, again, that's another about £130, and the shoulder pod X1, which is, you know, much nicer looking bit of kit, much more finished, is £120. So this is £68 versus £120, I guess, for the equivalent setup. And to be honest, I think it works really well. It's very comfortable in the hand. These handles are really great to hold on to. It gives a nice solid platform. You know, you can do nice sort of gentle movements with it. I'd be happy to do interviews on here. You can use it one-handed. You can touch the phone. So all in all, yeah, I would really recommend putting a kit like this together. You can find all the bits you need on Amazon. I can put all the bits into the description for you as well under this film. So I hope you found this film useful. Like and share, as they say. And yeah, happy shooting. Hope you enjoy it.